Hi, everyone. This is Alisa Dixon, and this is Astrology with Alisa. I am joined today by a very special guest. This is my mom, Christel Yeah, hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. This is my mom, Christel Autuori. And I mentioned on an earlier podcast that she was coming to visit, and I was so excited. And I thought, oh, it would be so fun to have a little mother-daughter chat. But then, as we were just catching up on our lives and just doing the fun things that we always do, I realized we both work with energy. And I thought, wow, this actually could be a really cool podcast episode. So here we are. I'm figuring out how to do this whole in-person podcast guest for the first time, like side by side here in my recording studio / office / home. So thanks for being my guinea pig.
I love it. I love it. That's what moms do.
That is what moms do. I know, because I am a mom.
I know.
And I learned from you. Oh. So why don't you do a very quick intro and tell everybody who you are and what you do?
I'm Christel Autuori, and I live in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and I teach at Western Connecticut State University. I teach holistic health, lifestyle medicine, stress management, and more.
And more.
And more.
So, energy.
Energy. Well, I am also a Reiki master, and I teach Acu-Yoga, which is yoga with acupressure meridians and acupressure points. So that's all the energy stuff, too.
So what do you think when I start talking about energy? Because I always talk about the planets as energy. I don't just talk about the planets or the zodiac signs. I'm always using the word energy. What do you think?
I have a really hard time kind of conceptualizing that energy is everywhere, but I can understand the energy in the body and that the energy needs to flow freely. And when it gets stopped up, or if there's too much in one place, not enough in another, then we're going to start seeing signs and symptoms of illness, and we're just not going to be functioning as well as we could. So as a Reiki master, my job is to try to balance that energy, get things flowing freely.
Cool.
It is cool.
Cool. Is there
Okay.
anything deeper I should ask you about that?
Energy flows and energy in the body is not just with Reiki, but also with a lot of the other ancient traditions like Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine. Western medicine really doesn't talk about energy in our bodies or look at the spirituality aspect of our personalities. The others do, and that's probably the biggest difference.
So spirituality, that's a cool word to land on because I look at astrology and the way I practice it is very spiritual. So what do you think of when you think of spirituality?
Spirituality is one of those words that's really, really hard to define. And a lot of people think it means you have to go to church every Sunday. But it really means being connected to something bigger than yourself. And very often that is Mother Nature. But it also could be going to a concert with friends and thousands of other people, and you're all there excited about it, and you all are there for one reason. So you are part of something bigger than yourself.
Well, and that's kind of what this is all about. We are all part of something way bigger than ourselves.
And I noticed that in the mornings when the first thing I do when I get up is I go out on my deck and I look up at the sky, and it's usually pretty dark. So I look up and I see all these wonderful stars, and I think, holy moly, this is incredible. This is so much more than I am just down here, and I am part of this, and I am filled with awe.
Awe. I love that. So you had something you had to say about the word awe.
Well, I think that a lot of people misuse the word awe. Awe really has to do with having a sense of like overwhelming emotional impact to you. Like a lot of people say if they're on a mountaintop and they're seeing it. For me, it's when I see the stars. It is a connection to something way bigger than ourselves. And in experiencing this, we are just kind of blown over emotionally. And it kind of gives credence to the fact that there's a lot of really, really good in the world, especially when we're having a tough day.
So let's walk me through what are the first steps of identifying stress?
Oh my goodness. The first thing is being aware of what's going on in your body, because Mother Nature gives us the stress response to keep us safe and to help us to survive. So what she does is she makes our body do things so that it's ready, that we could fight, flight, or flee, or freeze all at once so that we can survive. So when our heart starts pounding, when our breath starts getting very shallow and very rapid, we might perspire, our pupils dilate, all of our senses are heightened, and we're ready to go. Sometimes this feels like butterflies in our stomach. Sometimes people start to perspire or their face gets bright red. And sometimes people just flip out because they just don't know what's coming next in their bodies. So the trick is to be able to step back and say, what is going on in my body and why is this happening? And first of all, embrace it. It's a little uncomfortable, but embrace the fact that our body is readying us for something that we may need. And we often look at this as a negative thing. So if we could look at this as something positive, like my body is getting me ready to do something wonderful.
Wait a minute. So think about stress as a positive thing?
Yes, stress does not have to be a negative thing. The stressful event, the event itself is neutral. It's the label we put on it. So if we are driving from point A to point B and we get stuck in traffic and we're a little bit irritated because we really want to get to where we're going and we got delayed. But if you turn it around and you say, okay, I am here now. First of all, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm stuck in traffic. But look, I never noticed those flowers by the roadside before. Those are really pretty. Or I never noticed that building because I'm usually zipping by so fast that I don't have time to look anywhere but the road. So looking at things from a positive perspective changes everything.
I have to laugh because you are so speaking your astrology right now. You have a Taurus moon. And when you're talking about feeling things in the body, that is a very Taurus moon thing because Taurus is all about the senses. What can I feel? What can I touch? Everything sensory is Taurus. And Taurus is also the sign of nature. And you just spoke about how if you're stuck in traffic, let me look outside and notice these beautiful flowers. That is such a Taurus moon thing. Just identifying feelings and how things feel in your body. I just think it's awesome when people speak their chart.
There you go. Just came naturally. Didn't even think about it.
Well, and the moon, because that's instinctual.
There we are.
See?
So
what role do you think intuition plays?
I think intuition is one of those things that we tend to kind of disbelieve or just dismiss because, you'll get a random thought and you'll think, well, that's crazy. That could never happen. And just dismiss it. But in reality, that's our intuition trying to tell us something. And if we start to become a little bit more mindful of what's going on in our bodies and in our minds, then we can discover a whole new world.
A whole new world.
There you go.
So when somebody is emotionally overwhelmed, what are some tips and tricks that you give them?
The very first thing to do is to stop and take a breath. Take a nice deep breath. Just stop. See what's going on in your body. Observe. And then you proceed. Taking a nice deep breath just kind of takes you out of that craziness for just a bit. Now, this takes practice. You can't just do this all of a sudden. Another thing to do is to stop and do the 5 senses observation. Look around. What are 5 things that you can see? What are 4 things that you can hear? What are 3 things that you can smell? What are 2 things that you can hear? What's the 1 thing that you can taste? That's a little bit tricky in the moment.
Because you have to have something to actually put in your mouth, and you can't always.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just taking that time to do that, it gives your body a little bit of a break. And then you can think about how to proceed with this. The other thing to do is deep breathing. Deep breathing actually activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which puts you into rest and digest as opposed to fight or flight.
Okay, what is rest and digest?
Rest and digest is calm. It's the parasympathetic nervous system. And the big nerve that is involved in that is the vagus nerve, which comes out of the back of your head, comes down through your neck, and then it goes through your torso. So by taking deep breaths in through our trachea, also by humming, singing, yodeling.
Humming. Yodeling?
Yodeling.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, absolutely. That will exercise and tone that vagus nerve, which helps you to calm down a little bit faster. So the trick is to do this when you're not stressed, so that when you are stressed, you can go into it.
And you can just start yodeling?
You could start yodeling. Absolutely. That would get you out of the stress mode.
That might make you laugh.
And it would. And that also is very good for you. Laughter is huge.
So this is really helpful because so often I will be talking about what's going on up in the sky with the planets and how certain things are coming that might be a little more stressful, like when we're in eclipse time, or if someone's having a Saturn return, or, if Mars and Pluto are in the sky and they're opposite each other or squaring each other and it's showing up really angry down on Earth and people are getting all stressed out and little out of their minds. this is good because these are some tools maybe that people can use to calm down.
Yes. And sometimes people say to me, oh, yes, teach me the deep breathing, and I'll do that when I'm stressed. And that's when I say to them, no, I want you to practice this every day so that when you are stressed, first of all, it will take much more to stress you than just a little bit. I mean, sometimes it's just the littlest thing. You can't find your keys or you can't find your pen and you start getting stressed. It's a little thing, you know. Save getting stressed for the big things. But use that breath every day so that you can kick into that just very naturally when you are stressed. And that way you'll kind of stop it in its tracks.
Okay. So you've always been like the most optimistic, positive person ever. Do you think that attributes to reducing stress?
Oh, definitely attitude is everything. And that's what I said before about changing your perspective on stress. You know, the glass half full, the glass half empty. You know, I try to stick with as much positivity as possible. It's much healthier. It strengthens our immune system. It also helps us to build resilience. Having a sense of humor is enormous. And we also teach laughter yoga, by the way.
Laughter yoga?
Laughter yoga.
I've heard of goat yoga.
No, laughter yoga is a real thing. It was invented by a doctor in India.
How do you laugh while you're holding poses? I mean,
No, you don't. You just laugh. You just laugh. You laugh for no reason at all, and you start laughing, and then everybody starts laughing. It's really fun. We're doing a workshop at the university.
When do you do yoga?
Well, the yoga portion of it is the deep breathing because you're
So you
doing
just breathe and laugh?
Yeah, yep, for quite a while, half an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think I would go out of my mind.
We're doing that this week at the university. It will be fun.
So what other kinds of exercises do you do with your students?
Oh, exercises. You mean like when they're in class and they're starting to nod off because the class is 3/4 of the way done? Then I do get them up and we do some yoga. We do the breath of joy or we do a half sun salutation.
What's the breath of joy?
Breath, it's really hard to demonstrate here, but we also will sometimes do the lion pose, which if you're really up for it, I will show that to you.
Well, you might as well. I don't know how you are you excited to do this?
I can do this. It's also a great stress reliever.
Will you be in the frame of the video?
I think so.
Okay, do
I think so. So you take a deep breath.
Oh, you can do it just sitting?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were going to go get on the floor.
Oh, no. No.
All right,
No,
let's-
this is, we do chair yoga too. But the lion pose, you take a deep breath in and you exhale and you go.
I cannot do this.
And that is the lion pose. And it's really, really good when somebody's aggravating you. You do not do this to them in their face. You do not. But you can go into the bathroom and you can go, and you know that you're doing it for that
God.
situation. But you feel a whole lot better. Don't you want to come to my class? It's fun.
Do you do this in school?
I haven't done that one yet, but that's coming.
You should do that one the day the dean pops in to check
Yeah,
on your
right.
classes. All right, I'll try it with you.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Take a deep breath in. And then you feel wonderful afterwards.
yeah,
You
I
don't
feel-
feel so stressed, right?
I mean, I feel a little ridiculous.
That's
but
okay. It's fun.
That's when we start laughing.
That's right.
Okay, so humor is a big thing.
Humor is huge. Humor.
Okay, so you were telling me the other day that there are these pillars of
Lifestyle medicine.
lifestyle medicine.
Yes, I do. I'm a certified lifestyle medicine coach as well. And there are 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine or principles by which they operate. And the first one is aerobic exercise, a diet filled with a lot of fruits and vegetables, a very plant-forward diet, very strong social support, and positive stress management. Added to that are restorative sleep and avoiding risky substances.
And this is part of what you teach.
This is what I teach. This is what I live. Can't stop talking about it.
What are some things your students have said or done in response to what you've taught them that it maybe surprised you? Have you had any big takeaways, like big aha moments where they've surprised you, got through to somebody maybe?
When they tell me that it has made a difference in their life, when they see that they have changed their behavior as a result of what they have learned in my class. I do give them an assignment to, quote unquote, meditate for 5 minutes a day for a week. And set a little timer, just take a long time out like we do with the kids when they get into it in nursery school. And just take some time just to breathe. And along with that, too, is an assignment that I give them. It has positive results. I've never had anyone say that it didn't. And that was it. When you wake up in the morning, you write down 3 things that you are grateful for. You write down 3 things you love about yourself. You have to write down 1 thing you'd like to change, and then set an intention for the day.
Well, that's cool. That sounds like you're really helping them be intentional around what their thoughts and feelings are.
Exactly. Because so many people are just really kind of unaware. And the setting the intention for the day, when you set that intention early in the morning, then it kind of stays with you all day, and you kind of keep going back to it, and it adds purpose to your day, which is also huge.
I love that. And that's kind of a lot of what I do with astrology. I'm really, really passionate about having people have an awareness of their own energy and what their tendencies are towards or against, so that way they can really, give themselves grace if they're just wired a certain way and that's causing them to do things a little differently than other people.
Right. And that's really important.
What is something you understand about stress now, today, that you didn't understand when you were younger?
Well, like many things in life, that stress doesn't last. It's not forever. It's somewhat temporary. The other thing is that we can manage it. We can choose how we deal with a stressor. We can make it our friend, or we could, choose to fight with it. We have a choice. We have a choice to respond, not just to react. There's that whole balance. And that's what's really important, too.
Your body wants.
Your body wants.
And your soul wants.
Yeah. I mean, your whole being wants this.
Yeah.
Okay? Body, mind, and spirit.
Body, mind, and spirit. And that is a big piece of what you teach.
Absolutely.
And now here I am podcasting about basically the same thing, just with different words, different labels.
And isn't it so cool?
All energy is all around us, whether or not we're aware.
That's right.
What is there any advice, any parting advice that you'd like to give anybody?
Just to be really mindful and appreciative. Here again, expressing gratitude. That's one of the best things that we can do to stay positive and to stay healthy. Healthy of body, mind, and spirit.
Love. Well, this has been wonderful.
It's been fun.
I know. We've had the best weekend together. This is so fun to come together and share both of our respective energy disciplines with the world. Thank you so much for being game to do this with me.
It's fun.
It was so fun. So as always, I will have another episode for you every week, maybe solo, maybe with a guest, but thank you so much for listening. As always, I love and appreciate you all. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.
Bye.